So my name's Aaron Key. Today is July 5th. It's 9:47 p.m. Uh, I've got some stuff to tell here. These cops just keep pushing me, and they're not cops; they're domestic terrorists, and it's exactly what they are. I'm pro-police. We need real police in the world. These cops here are anti-police, and yeah, it's what they are. They're afraid of real cops, afraid they could, but I think they're so brazen now. They've got some boldness and confidence built up. They don't think nothing's gonna happen to them. But my wife's in another room. I'm trying to still. She's been through a lot, went through a lot yesterday, but this has to be said. I told her what I'm doing and told her to take a little while. Um, but yeah, cops in big cities, they pull over dangerous people, and they actually fight crime, and they risk their lives for people. The government, I see good cops go to prison sometimes. I see the government just, they're not properly trained. Many cops are not. Uh, you know, we're divided as a nation, very much so. But anyways, it's the government. It's not just the police. These Carthage police are trying to turn me against not just Carthage. It's more the TBI and the FBI. They're above them. They had an investigation on me in Nashville, and for a short amount of time, which they totally did not do right. You can look up Aaron Key versus Metro on Google. That's all you have to type in. It'll filter it out. Um, there was no procedure followed. They became threatening and harassing me. They were just trying to let me know we're on to you, that type thing. It's a lot to convey. Really don't want to enlighten everything in this matter on that, but you know, stuff like having people honk horns at me, all this stuff. Trying to make it out like they thought I was a sexual predator. Same thing when our child was taken in court. There was no legit reason for them to take them. My mother said, Aaron, I've seen crackheads out here with their babies, and exactly, they took mine and Bridget's. Trying to say lack of stability and what did they say? Violent history and lack of stability. Violent history was not on my spouse. That's the funny thing. You're just making up shit. Lack of stability. I had Social Security and was with my mother in a fucking two-story house. My stepfather working, getting $10,000 bonuses. He was a project manager. Now you just made up shit. But anyways, so what happened was why I'm doing this is just a lot of shit going on. The police are attempting hits on me and my wife. I guess where I'm gonna start, I've jotted down some notes. It's not the most recent right here, but this is one of them. In our refrigerator, I've got refrigerator COVID. That's its own thing. So even back in South Carthage, when we lived over for our home burnt down, when the neighbor was smoking on oxygen, uh, I noticed we wouldn't go around people a whole lot, and we didn't have transportation, and so we was not going around people a lot, and we was catching COVID all the time. And there's things called no-knock warrants, where the police come in and they could say it's under pretense of checking for weapons or whatever. But these judges around here are corrupt and everything. And yeah, I'm talking to Brandon Beller and you know Brandon No Backbone. It's more like it. He has took up for these cops and defended them at all costs. And like his life's more important than me and my wife's. It's funny, but anyways, so there's no our phones are not tapped. I can tell. Um, if so, we wouldn't be hacked to the way we're hacked. We're hacked. Our devices are hacked. They used to put people on my wife's Facebook, dangerous people with tattoos and stuff, and try to make it out like she was talking to him. She said, Aaron, she would come straight to me. My wife don't lie to me. She'd say, I didn't put this person on my Facebook. I know she goes to church and stuff. She said, I didn't put this person on my Facebook. And, she got PTSD and, she got a little schizophrenia and she had a head injury when she was young. That was the doctor deliberately didn't put the dye in her blood when I told her it occurred when she was 16. Angela Moss over in Gordonsville did not put dye in her blood. She said I even brought that up and she said, oh yeah, we'll do that. And I didn't put it in, just ordered a regular MRI, like scanned her head, like that's gonna show up when she was 16, a head injury. They knew better. So that just took insurance money, tax dollars, whatever you want to call it. So that's our government for you. Anyways, there's still a lot of these police too. They're not blameless. They've done a lot of things, but just a lot of cops are known to have low IQs. But I'm not even saying about Tennessee cops. There's a few that get a pass with me, not with county, but with city here. And there's one with county. I think he's a little bit retarded, so I cut him some slack. Nathan Williams. But the other ones, they can all die and go to hell. Straight up, as far as I'm concerned. They know what they are. They know what they've done. And I'm going to explain. I'm going to get into that why this has all occurred. But yeah, back in South Carthage, um, we would. I just noticed we was catching COVID all the time. We didn't go and get checked because then they could try to quarantine us and and kill us. And you say, well, now you're sounding crazy. How are they going to do that with? And my wife's in the other room and she's needing my attention. I'm talking, so I may sound a little loose or something when I'm talking, but it's not. It's just something like this needs your full undivided attention. Of course, to explain this, it's a lot deep subject matter. But um, so what happened was yeah, like go in where they tell all kind of lies, just like when she's been in a mental hospital and why is mobile crisis mistreated her. I mean, I know you got Donald Trump supporters, which there's no politics in him. That's facts. There's no politics in Donald Trump. That's for the drama lovers. What they say, drama makes the world go round. That's for talk show fans and that's for corrupt police and corrupt government. It used to be fuck the police and all that. See, I'm real. I grew up in the '90s, back when the government was scared of the people. So I think, oh, fuck the police. Well, now it's fuck you. Not all cops are that way. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a cop. I know that one bad apple spoils a bunch, and there's a thing called the blue wall of silence. Hoping this recording lasts this long too. So let me get into some of this. All they gotta do is just put lies, especially me being part Romanian. My country's Europe. They could put lies into these people's head. Who knows? Tell them you see you go in hospitals and you see big banners, heroes work here. They could tell them oh, he talks against nurses and talks about killing. Who knows? you know I think police try to desensitize you, but they are trying to kill me and my wife, so there's no telling what they might tell them and to win them over. And a lot of people kiss the police's ass. Hell, a lot of people let their children play 2 and 3 streets over and get fucking abducted and raped. So it shows how fucking self-centered and self-absorbed a lot of America is. They're not out. There's a whole lot of people that are not outstanding fucking people. They got huge flaws and things they need to work on. But anyways, yeah, we would get sick all the time I noticed when we would come back from somewhere too, might have stayed the night somewhere or something, but we would come back and once we got in the refrigerator, you start getting a temperature and just getting sick. And, so yeah, they was doing stuff to our refrigerator, like getting in there, doing things. Anyways, um, I've got the story of D when my wife was raped. She was drugged, raped, and robbed by little, uh, I hope this lasts as long, little pathetic uh, puny piece of shit named D. Wright. He, she thought he was her friend. Uh, anyways, he uh, was at his mother's, and she was at her mom's. They had a little argument, and me and her was into a little bit of time. She thought she'd be safe going over and just visiting him a little while. They would color and all that. He said he seemed harmless to her, but not to me. Anyways, I could tell what he was. I'm street smart and everything else, but he gave her ice. He stole her, I believe it was clonazepam at the time. She's been on Valium, clonazepam, different things, but he took her medicine, took our food stamps, uh, things of that sort. He raped her, and all while his piece of shit mother stayed in there and done nothing about it. Things come to the light. His name's D. Wright. He has a brother named Christopher Wright. Anyways, I try to keep the peace with everybody and everything, but it's my wife we're talking about. So, and I am capable of being extremely dangerous. My wife has kept motherfuckers alive. I told the police, I said, you take that any way you want. I said, she's kept people alive. I said, I don't give a fuck who hears it. Y'all trying to make me out dangerous. So you tell me, oh, just keep the peace and all this, because they still got people fucking with us. But anyway, so I'm going to go into that. He drug, raped, and robbed her. And anyways, see, she had that head injury. When she was 16, she was in the back of a truck in Gordonsville. That's where she was born. She was born in Carthage, but she grew up in Gordonsville with her grandma. They was going around corners. I'm just saying it kind of quick. The way she explained, going around corners fast in a truck, had her back against the tailgate. He left the road, and that's not what hurt her. She said some drinking was going on. It's when the driver went to back out of the ditch. I'm sorry, he backed into a telephone post, and she had her back right against that tailgate, and her head absorbed all that impact, and it was so hard it shattered the back glass of that truck out, like a little S10 or something. And her head absorbed that impact, so her hair was matted with blood and everything. The brother carried her. up there because he'd been drinking scared to where her grandmom and actually her father stayed there too. Father was scared for her to go to sleep, scared she could have a concussion. Well, cut long story short, she was never seen about. She's got TBI from that traumatic brain injury. And so that makes it even more aggravated. Anything else the police would do. It's just a matter of, getting these pieces of shit to do something about it. I don't know if the people are scared of the police and scared to bring things to light, to do their job right in this fucking small town and everything else. And there's just sometimes you let things go for a reason because, they're gonna, find a way to motherfucking, win in their fucking mind. So, anyways, uh, sorry the profanity, but I'm upset. Anyway, look, we got for a president Joe Biden, and I ain't talking about America. It ain't their fault. But or is it? Men supposed to be men. We're supposed to, evil prevails when good men do nothing. I think if we got Joe Biden for president and Donald Trump, all that shit, then we can listen to me for a minute. At least I ain't mumbling like Joe Biden, huh? But anyways, uh, or an ass kisser like Trump. That's all he is. But no politics in him again. But yeah, so then there was Paco raped my wife. He's a Mexican. I thought I trusted him. I worked with him one day. He seemed humble, harmless. Um, yeah, my wife's in another room. She could hear me, and it's a deal. And I don't want to make her revisit this stuff, but I'm trying to keep the door even open and kind of be there with her. But what happened was, um, he came over here once, where we live now in Carthage to the projects. He was just outside visiting people, and he was drinking and stuff. And she said she was out there visiting neighbors and everything. And I said, she said, I'm out here talking to this Mexican Paco or something. Or she said Paco, and I said, yeah, he's a good guy. I said, he's okay. I said, I worked with him. He's a nice guy, Bridget. I didn't know she was drinking. He was drinking. She was. I think maybe we had some alcohol herself that day, so she was already drinking a little bit. And then he gave her more beer. Well, she got pretty full, and he told her that he had more beer at his place. And I was actually scared because of the way these corrupt cops are here in Carthage. They're all the time putting people up, everything else. And they had neighbors out here like trying to tell me, oh well, she's okay, she's this and that, like they're her husband or her guardian, her with a head injury and everything, But anyways, so I was scared to try to hold her in here against her will, afraid she'd start screaming and fighting, and she could end up going to jail or something. So I didn't really know what to do. She ends up going with him. She told me what happened. He raped her. So anyways, he held her down, him and the other Mexican, and I believe she said he done something. I've tried to remove it from my mind, but I've since found out that he's got a big trailer. He was living in this little bitty old trailer, had it for years. And, I've since found out over here that he has a big trailer with 3 slides on it and everything else. Not saying that he was put up to rape her, and nobody ever knew she'd go with him. But I believe they rewarded that. Or perhaps because they hate me so much. And no, they hate, they're desperate. They're big fans of mine. They stole my invention idea, what I'll get into later. But I believe that they or maybe planned on using him later or trying to keep him quiet because knowing he knew too much about what's going on with us. I don't know, because they always try to warn people under this pretense that I'm dangerous to keep. They think this puts on this persona keeps them safe and covers up their corruption. They're just trying to fucking off me. They tried to have me shot and things multiple times. And recently here at Safeway, I was riding my bicycle, and I was riding through there, and this after my wife was false arrested, which I'll get into later. But I was riding through the parking lot and or turning in there. I was like not through the parking lot yet, but I was riding near the auto parts, and this vehicle gets up behind me, just all up on me. And I look, and he's throwing his hands up and just acting crazy. He was an older man too, which was more of a red flag. Why some old man messing me like that when I ride my bike and do bar dips and hit jump rope and everything else? And don't work out like I used to, and not what I could have been. I was going to get in Golden Glove as a teenager and everything else, but anyway, kind of took the wrong route in life as a teenager. Heavy metal concerts, you know what it's like growing in the 90s. Well, some do. Others can research if they don't. But I said something to him, whatever, and he started chasing me through the parking lot. Uh, he then was seen reaching underneath the seat. So I believe they thought I was going to approach him and maybe have him shoot me or something. Went back and reported to the police. Uh, this fucking total shit show. That cop said, did you say he had a gun? He said, that's making a fault. I said, I never said he had a gun. I said, he walked up while me and you was here, and he had his hand in his pocket. And I said, he might have a gun. So anyways, I know I'm jumping the gun there, but I don't even know how long this record lasts. I'm trying to get all this out. So Because as I'm standing there reporting, I seen him going down there too. So I said, well, we're gonna make sure because he was still in town provoking things. I was on a bike. He could have went on. I was upset over that instance yet, but he could have went on. And I seen him head down that way, and I knew he was going to the Carthage Police Department, so I went down there. And he basically what happened was he walks up with his hand, sticking his hand in his coat pocket, and I'm not letting a motherfucker pull out a gun and shoot me. I don't care if it's from these deranged, incompetent. They're incompetent just because they're corrupt, because they've chosen to be. They're calm enough to do their job and collect taxpayer dollars. Pieces of shit here in Carthage. I'll just say that much. There's a few over here in the city that's decent. County, except for the one that's a little retarded, so I'll give him a pass. But as I spoke about earlier, so what happened was I said he could. I said he might have a gun. He said, you just say he had a gun. He said, you can't. That's making a false police, whatever, dude. I said, I never said. I said he might, but we got past that. So I got other things covered too. So he goes down and look at the footage, and Todd at Safeway showed him because he was one had the footage. He said he's all on his heels. So he seen that he was all up on my heels. That was never put in the police report. I asked Britt Davis to give me a copy once it was redone. Oh, Aaron, well, I can tell you just being corrupt. That's how they shut you down because they know they can't compete with me and everything with their corrupt asses. So he said, I'm busy. It'll be next week sometime. Maybe get back with me. And he literally put me off like 7 days. So I knew then he was just bullshitting me like he did in court with our children. So, anyways, um, I knew that he was just putting me off, and I'm sure, anybody tells you to come back 1 week from them, and he might, whatever. I knew anyway, considering the source and how they are, how they've been with me since I've been here. I already knew. So I've turned in dope to them. I've rode my bicycle. You see things on a bicycle sometimes. For now, I've got my license back, but um, I would. I had my license a while back, but I caught a DUI. Now I've got it back after about 4 years, but I would find dope and turn it in, ice and all kind of shit, and just turn it in, keep a child from getting hold of it or something. And so they know, they know I'm not no threat. Furthermore, when we lived in South Carthage, there was, oh yeah, but he tried to get me, like I said, and talked to him. He was all on his heels, and like I said, nothing was ever done of that. But furthermore, they allowed dope to be dealt in South Carthage when I lived up there for like 4 years. This person, I'm not going to name his name, but sold ice. Traffic going up there and back down the hill nonstop. Could have ran over children. So no, they're not worried about protecting children. These Carthage cops are corrupt. That's all I got to say about that. They was never worried about protecting children. Drugs cause crime. Anybody that knows anything about drugs knows that drugs cause crime. I've told them that to their face. There's a video on me YouTube. So I said, you don't know what drugs cause crime? So, anyways. But see what they was doing, allowing him to sell dope. And it will get people on probation, I guess. And then that raises more money. They can get everybody on probation. It's making money. And at the same time, they was having, because they know I don't like dope. I mind my own business, but I don't like it. I mean, I've been in prison. I know what it causes, you know, uh, different things. So they had this boy come down and mess with my dog, my little Chihuahua dog, like trying to make him out aggressive where they could take him or something. He's my little emotional support Chihuahua. His name's Benny. But anyway, so let's see. Yeah, I found out that Paco's got a trailer with slides. Just heard that about a month and a half ago. 3 slides. Recently seen him in on the parking lot here the other day, right when we get our food stamps. And at first we didn't get our food stamp. We normally get them on the second. So they said we missed an appointment when last year they didn't even call us on the appointment. They're all the time messing with us, and they have put other people up to it. But then what happened was we get our food stamps on the third because I went and done it, and they actually done the interview that day. I couldn't make this up, you can hear what I'm talking, but go to get the food. So they would have known that we're gonna go get food. We was out of everything, literally out of everything. Sodas, food, everything, and they literally cooked the last food the night prior, last meal, should I say. Had canned goods and stuff like some canned vegetable stuff, but. This one guy couldn't come over and knock on the door again or something, like beat on the door. Wait, somebody over kicking the door. I explained that. But what happened was once I get the groceries, I go out to the car loaded up. Well, lo and behold, there's Paco and some other Mexican in the fucking truck. And they're in a truck in front of me. I pointed my finger at him. I said, "You ever come around my wife again, I'm gonna hurt you very fucking bad," and something along that effect. And then that other one said something. What do you say? I said, "That motherfucker raped my wife." I said, "I got a problem with you too for being over here fucking him. You parked him in front." He said, "Oh, that's in." No, I said, "I got a problem with you too. You parked him over in front of me." And he said, well, son, you got a problem here? And that's when I said, no, I got a fucking problem with you too, bitch. Puto. And I called him a puto. It means bitch in Spanish. Sorry for the profanity, but, it's a deep subject matter. And he called me MNF and shut the truck door, and that was it. So, anyways, um, let's see here. Uh, yeah, so there you go, Paco trailer and every fucking thing else. And sometimes it's just because they know a lot on us, I think, people that they help out, trying to keep them quiet. I know it sounds crazy, but they're telling people I'm a pedophile, you know, and I mean, our child was taken obviously under the circumstances that there was no anything. We had our child a week. There was no anything like that, or I would have been charged. I couldn't even live in the projects if I've ever been convicted of a sex crime. So it's just all ludicrous, made up shit. But somebody raped my wife here the other day. I trusted this guy again, and we was drinking gin. I drank almost 2 bottles of gin, and I passed out. He took advantage of my wife over here, and that was night before last. And I'm just careful listening to what's going on out here too. So, cause there been some shit went down today, and I'll explain that. He raped my wife, and she had the rape test done yesterday. So as we're coming back, there's just a lot to cover, so I'm talking kind of quick. I got to start breaking this down quicker. I can't get as into depth. It's intricate, but really, I could break down these facts more later. But as we're coming back, I noticed this car got right on our tail, and it's a black person. I know because up here where we live, there's a house, and so I knew. At the time he was right on our ass, I even told my wife, I said, I hope his car don't hit us. I said, well, I got the dash cam going. If they do, we'll get money out of it regardless. So she's traumatized because this shit just happened. She was taking advantage of. She told this guy to get off her. This guy that she was raped by, but she stopped his advances. She told me she was sleeping and he just kept trying. She said no, but he fucking went to pulling her pants off, fucking raped her. So, anyways, excuse me. Um, she got PTSD and everything else. She's vulnerable. But so what happened was this guy gets on her tail. I later found out it was him. And now, how would he even known that we was come back from Lebanon at that time? So then today, uh, somebody's kicking our door, and I was gonna say I do put things on my Facebook prejudice sometimes, but and I'm not even prejudiced. I'm just I'm just me. I'm not. There's certain things, black people put black fist up in the air, and it's but then if we put white, they put black power in the fist, and if we but within it's racist. I'm just me. I've had friends, and one of my best friends is black. His name's Trent Evans. He's a veteran, and but I've had friends from Sudan and Kenya, and they was as humble. Just a lot of them over here. That makes me racist. Talking about truth, I'm racist. A lot of them over here, they they want to act, pull that race card and act vicious and everything else. And no, I'm not. I'm just not tolerating that. So, you know. Anyways, I mean, I'm not. I'm 38 year old. So I grew up day when five of them were jumping on one white man and one stocky white boy, and he was whooping all of them. So I'm different generation. Anyways, so what happened was this guy comes kicking our door today, and he says, when I opened the door, I made sure I had pepper spray. First, I thought it was a guy that raped my wife. I mean, I had pepper spray 'cause I figured he had a gun. I said, well, he's got a gun if he's knocking the door like that. But he's got some kind of weapon trying to get in on us. So I pick up pepper spray, I pick up the phone, start recording, open the door, and it was a guy across the street. And he runs around with these black people. He's talking about, do you try to jump my boy or something drunk? And none of it made any sense. So, anyways, um, I think that's because they're hoping, they put me away or something. They could bludgeon my wife to beat her to death or something, say that I had a problem. I don't know, make me out racist or whatever. Most anything I put prejudice on my Facebook. I don't even like saying prejudice that I put. That's my right. I can put whatever I want on Facebook, but it is hidden off my profile page. I hide it and it's just in my pictures. It's away from everything. So, anyways, cut long story short, that just made no sense. So we end up, he's drinking, I noticed, and called me out. And I said, why would I come out in the middle of the street and invite you, get us kicked out of here? I said, you're trying to get us kicked out of here. So he looked like something off Toy Story, that cowboy. I said, yeah, go and snake in your boot looking motherfucker. And nobody paying attention to you. I told him, I said, I'll fucking suplex you and they'll carry you off in a fucking stretcher. You get fucked in prison. He got in trouble here too lately. He went to jail for weapons and drugs. So, anyways, maybe that's why they're using him. Nevertheless, so past that, let me see. I got more stuff here. When we was at the hospital, yeah, the security was rude. They was rude to people up there. Just trying to start trouble with me for no reason, just when I'm trying to be supportive of my wife. They always try to break me down mentally. I guess they told him I shot at the cops. I don't know what they told him. I go up there though, and they're acting just all stupid, like a bunch of morons. I guess they think they're heroes because they work in a fucking hospital. I mean, it ain't true about me in the past. I mean, I made a remark. I'm like, they've thrown that hero shit around too loosely, calling themselves heroes just because they work in a fucking doctor's office. But never said nothing about hurting them. Even when they used to do shit to my mother, they mistreated her. Now, I ain't gonna lie, my wife kept somebody. It probably wouldn't even been fucking staff at that fucking hospital I would have went after, but I would have. My wife kept motherfuckers alive right there. They admitted they gave my wife pneumonia. I'm gonna get more into that later when you hear some of this stuff. But or not my wife, but my mother. They gave her too much Bolic fluid. She was put in ICU, and when they called me, they said, yeah, just calling, like you're talking about the weather. Just calling to let you know that Miss Weatherly had to go to ICU last night. I said, well, y'all told me y'all gave her too much Bolic fluid. She said, well, if you're just going to talk like that, she said, we'll end this conversation. So I guess she thought I was supposed to fucking smile and make myself sound crazy over the phone. Exactly. I went in there one time. I was driving at that time too. My mother passed about 4 years ago, and it was right before I lost my license. Caught a first time DUI, which I've got reinstated. But she was laying in a bed with no covers on her, no sheet or nothing, and they had it freezing cold in that room. And anyway, she went there with sepsis, sick and everything, so from alcohol. So what happened was, so yeah, I've got the security in the hospital, all that stuff. I remember one time we was up there recently too. My wife, she was trying to see about getting help with her nerves, because the following day we was going to go to her actual provider and try to get her help, and they got her on a whole lot of medicines. But what happened was, we come out and there's a police officer standing there in our face as we walk out, like trying to just intimidate us, I guess. They all the time make up shit and everything else. So I later called the Lebanon police, and they said, no, that was security there. We all this, and so they just made up shit. They said that was part of this fucking security in there, and that's not. They were totally different outfits. This motherfucker had yellow on and shit, so it was not security. They lied to me. No reason that woman should have been standing there waiting. She caught us right in the breeze when we walked out, staring my wife dead in her eyes. So, anyways, my wife's little and goes to church and everything, so whatever. But so when we lived in South Carthage, there's an officer named Tracy Jackson. She don't even work no more. She fucking resigned or something, retired. But she would pull up in front. I was always reporting shit because I had that lawsuit. I got to get quick into this. I was always reporting stuff to them. I had to do certain things and record it and all this different stuff. I used to have it on a flash drive and it got stolen. I'm thinking because my aunt, she's a millionaire. I know it sounds weird, but they own the post office in Carthage, Tennessee. You see the Carthage post office, you'll see I'm telling the truth. It says Grand Staff Office Building. They rent it back to the government. They purchased it. It was in the Carthage Corps. He purchased it for $300,000. They rent it back to the government. That's where their office is at. He's the president of this branch of ING down here. She's involved in that too. They sell real estate, different things, but are involved in real estate. But she was keeping my evidence and stuff. There's a woman I seen her one day going in there, and I figured she's who they had hired to clean or something. I believe she stole it because my aunt she just keeps delaying to give me this stuff I've asked her for lately, because it's actually family pictures. I don't care about the evidence right now. I got this shit in my head. But sorry to curse. I'm upset. I got a heart, unlike a lot of people. So I'm not just a snowflake. You fuck with my family, you better watch out. So anyways, she would Tracy Jackson would just pull up. Like I said, I was always reporting things to theirself about them. But she'd pull up in front of the neighbor when we had no vehicle, even at the time. She would pull up right in front of our apartment when we're calling, and it's like she was trying to get the neighbor all into it, which the neighbor they was using like an informant. I call them phony informants. They're not no legit CIs. You can't entrap. Police intimidation's illegal, so it can cause a false confession. There's a lot of different stuff, but the neighbor was smoking crack, I didn't ever seen her smoke crack, but she told me one day, she said, I wish I had some crack to smoke, because I told her I wish I had a joint to smoke. And I was drinking one day, and she said, I wish I had some crack to smoke. I don't use drugs when I'm drinking. I tried to leave off it alone, but I'm saying in the past, I'm an addict, will always be. I'm an alcoholic, but that's when I drink is when I've used drugs. So, anyways, she said, I wish I had some crack to smoke. So, anyways, but she did not like police. She said, I'm tired of seeing all these police out here all the time. She was crazy. The woman cut her wrist, came on our porch one day bleeding. We went inside, and there was blood on the kitchen, all over the stove, everything. She had cut her wrist. And, you know, so they'll use anybody. They don't care. I'm going to get into more some of these phony informants they've used later. They don't care if you got dementia or whatever. Just, I guess they're afraid of getting caught for something. Somebody spilled the beans. You can think about it yourself wherever you think. But I've considered private investigators. All I'm going to do is get them killed, probably. That's all that's going to happen there. They will kill these Middle Tennessee police. It goes in my invention ideal being stolen, then violating my civil rights when I filed that federal civil lawsuit. Aaron Key versus Metro, you see it. It was dismissed without prejudice. I filed that lawsuit by myself. I got on YouTube, learned how to do it and everything. As you learn when you're in a fight for your life, you learn things. It's not because I wanted to be a federal civil attorney. I was fighting that, I'm going to do whatever it takes for me and mine. So, she would pull in deliberately, like right in front of the neighbors when there was all kind of room, doing stuff like that, trying to just get us worked up. My wife would have panic attacks all the time. I have to call EMS from the stress over their things that was going on. And, she would try to escalate things, even that they would always come with 911. So anyways, so now we get into, let's see, I got pulled up for a name department. I said, explain phony informants. David Apple, he was the sergeant at the time. He had made a comment that he would quote to somebody. I'm not going to state that individual's name, but he told them he would quote turn his head if they was to beat my wife. That got back to me. He would turn his head. He said, when I get in my vehicle, I don't even need to know where to go. It already takes me straight to Duffy Avenue. Yeah, that's because y'all corrupt. Yeah, you're corrupt, and I'm not going to let you set me up. You're corrupt and desperate, and you're pathetic. You try to set me and my wife up all the time, and I'm gonna get into other things, but yeah, I'm already conveying a lot, breaking down a lot. Anyway, our Chihuahua, had him outside on a leash one day, and there's a pit bull had already got loose down the hill, and they was being used at the time too. There was drugs involved, other stuff, but this pit bull got loose and killed. I know one dog. It ripped a little wiener dog. They said in half. It was let loose while our dog was on the leash, and it's funny. See, how sometimes you just know things, your perception. You've been in a place you don't feel welcomed. Like a woman said, I just had a feeling I was being watched. Turns out a peeping Tom was watching her. God gives us that perception. We're dealing with dangerous criminals and stuff like that. Like these Carthage not just Carthage police, the FBI are the main ones. It had to got approved through them. The DA office, Attorney General office, all them. They're all involved in it. I was under investigation for a short amount of time in Nashville, like I said. No procedure was done, everything else. Trying to talk quick, a lot of stuff covered. Don't sound like I'm rambling, it's too much cover. I got to turn this into a video too. Got to have space on my phone and everything. I don't have no Android phone, or Apple, I'm sorry. Anyways, got to upload it to YouTube, everything else, but send it to some people. But what happened was, and like while I was trying to do the lawsuit, anytime I'd go in the Carthage library, they would always, the staff, just when these certain two staff working, they'd all the time act vicious. And like I'm real aggressive or something, just making up stuff. Why? Because I was using that to, type up stuff, to print off stuff for my lawsuit and all that, sending in letters and all that. So they didn't want me having access to that. So they had them, especially the one woman, but both of them, the other woman acting nutty too. She was involved in it, but they had the one just acting like I was Bin Laden in reincarnate. So, when I was kind to them and they knew, they wasn't worried about their life. That's type people don't worry about their life, because that's type somebody tries to provoke you to fucking kill them. So they was not worried about their life. They were trying to, provoke me and everything else. And I say that with good reason. The cemetery is full of people like that, and they don't learn why provoke somebody. You see mass shootings, everything else. Just like I'm going to get into something else later, things were said to my wife by people in this town that was put up by police. They had to have been put up to it. I don't know what lies was told, that I'm dangerous and they need to investigate my mind or something to see. I don't, but I'll get into it. The whole time just trying to silence me and get me put in jail. knock my wife off and make it look like an accident or something. I ain't stupid. But anyway, so what am I explaining? Yeah, Benny. That's that dog done killed one other dog. It gets loose. My wife grabbed him. She seen Benny. She seen the other dog coming, and she brought him in just in time. But we had him on a leash outside, and I had already felt in my spirit, like I said, just had a feeling. I said, watch him turn that dog loose. I said, watch that dog, them turn him loose when I got Benny out here. And he wouldn't be sitting here today had my wife not been out there at the right time. And anyways, so I would walk to town pattern. I would go to town, certain just a pattern, a smorgasbord. They would like try to send me vibes they're on to me. They're watching me, that type of stuff, like motorcycles, Mustangs. And see this guy here, they putting him up to it. I have no doubt in my mind. And if you're thinking I'm scared now because I'm not coming outside, no, I don't have nothing to prove. They use people's minds so full of dope and everything else. Ain't no telling. He uses ice. He's out here sharpening a machete at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, it is what it is. But so what happened? Full of dope. And but anyways, I said I would walk to town a pattern, just as late as my suit. Same thing like when I was talking about when they would try to let me know they're on to me. Like they had this one guy walk up, I could tell he's like trying to make him out like an informant. And they had the right to investigate me for a short amount of time in Nashville, but they had him walk up saying like, bad boys, what you gonna do when they're on to you? And he just walked up way too open, tattoos on his face, stuff I could tell he'd been in jail for. Just way too open, and so he remixed the cop songs. I knew. Police sirens go off after that. I'm street smart. I know what to look for in informants. They send them on vacations. I know all this shit. And it's not these cops are not some accident. They've done this shit deliberately. They've been doing this shit. They know me. They know I'm no fucking bother to them. I would have a goddamn right to do something to the police if I could just prove it's self-defense. So that's a known fact there. I've had U.S. Marshals at my door once. Let's see, I've had Homeland Security come and contact me twice about things I supposedly said. One was Tracy Jackson saying I had threatened to sniper police. And, they walked away with their fucking tail tucked between their leg both times. I told one, I said, I don't appreciate, told the U.S. Marshal, the one was kind of nice. And then the other one, that white guy with the beard, I told the one, I said, I said, your mom raised you right. I said, now you act like you're a DA, like it's your job to try to prosecute me. And he kind of just, he didn't like that. But fuck him, he's a bitch. You never seen no tough cop, I ain't. Anyways, for the record, so what happened? I grew up in the fucking 90s, 7-Eleven, them bitches jumping on one man. He was handing all their asses to him. I got a right to not like police. I've been fucking pushed. I'm talking about Tennessee police. I like police in big cities. They're doing their fucking job right. These cops are sorry pathetic pieces of shit. Scrubs. Gonna steal somebody's invention ideal, policing for profit, all this. It's a fucking joke. Anyways, excuse my cursing, but let's see, what was I explaining there? A little upset. You don't think it's clear when you're upset here, so let me comment and look at my notes here, what I got. Yeah, like just the pattern of all that, like trying to just make me think, okay, we're on to you, that type of thing. So they had a right to investigate me, like I said, for a short amount of time, but they have to do it right. There's a right and a wrong way. You can't go to threaten me, especially when I've been in prison shooting at the police. Y'all done it for a reason. Cop I shot at molested his own little girl. He done more time than I did in prison. Daryl Ford, look him up, in Kentucky, Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Daryl Ford. That was his name. He's dead now, but he was initial report said victim being on 11 years of age. In his motion, it said he was, quote, fingering and licking her private parts. That was the daughter's account, her verbal statement. He was fingering, she said he tried to have sex with her, but she rolled over. So anyways, my stuff, he shot at us first, me and my brother. If you ask me, something should be done about that if I contact the DEA, but that's just, and then these cops gonna get a hold of them. All cops stick together around here. Ain't no transparency in any big city. People with a backbone around here. It's the South, Anyway, so that dash cam, if his dash cam was going, it would show he shot at us first. And he's shooting to kill us. So yeah, my brother's fleeing, but I don't see that gives you a right to fucking shoot and kill us. Aim for the tires, maybe still, that's what spike strips are for. And you're raping your daughter, so how does anybody take your account? Anyways, I'd have to see that he was allowed to shoot and use deadly force, and then also, but then you got to get around, why did he shoot first? He had not seen a gun, anything, so, anyways. They think there's some laws. You're in the progress of a deadly felony, and they think people's in danger. They can use lethal force. Yes, but so they try to do this immunity shit way too much around here. They're corrupt. There's some police departments will fire cops and everything else, and I respect them. And like I said, there's good cops I see go to prison. You know, George Floyd, that Chauvin, he might still be here today. He had better training. You know, the government sent a message, Donald Trump, I got all the police, just do whatever you want. No, you don't. You don't care. You're fucking anti-police as anything. You know, the government has destroyed and divided America. But anyway, that's the people, the police, everything. So, but that's no excuse for Tennessee. They knew right from wrong, and they know what the fuck they've done to me. And they mistreated my mother. They took our child. They mistreated my wife. They have been, they've used other people too. Of course, it's not just been them. They try to be careful. But they're so desperate. They do things sometimes. They think, oh, who's going to hold us accountable? The DA office? We're corrupt. Yeah, but see, things come to light. That's why I'm doing this video. But anyways, this audio with a thumbnail picture, I haven't determined what that might be. It might be just a calendar page of today. But so like I said, the pattern, they would do that when I'd go to, even not just Nashville, before I met my wife. That's when it started. But it was, and it's all in there why they started it. I'm not going into that, but it's in my lawsuit. May sound a bit far-fetched, but it's not, because our child was taking everything, and like I said, but I'd walk to Carthage sometime, or ride my bike. I have sinus problems, sorry. And they would use Mustangs, certain seasons of things. Sometimes they would use Mustangs, sometimes they'd use motorcycles. It was just these different things. And but so what happened was, I'm checking battery life. I still got 11%. I got enough to finish this, hopefully. And we're at 41 minutes, 40 seconds into this, but they'd use motorcycles, Mustangs, maybe have a police following the Mustang or the motorcycle. And I was, even some of my old video evidence, and some of which probably exist on some of my Facebooks, I was calling out things so that they would not be circumstantial. I'm already predicting it. And so there you go. But so anyways, let's see. I said explain Smith County drugstore, yeah, Save-A-Lot and DHS. So that was, I had just told this South Carthage police chief, David Long, I had told him about how my dad was. That my dad was quiet, good sense of humor, loved animals, hard worker. He was a welder. He used to have exotic animals, different things. Everybody builds a dad, but I create him like the Beastmaster. I got movie, but my dad was a hard worker. He was a welder. He worked for TVA. He went to school for that. He would make, without overtime, $2,000 a week. When he'd work overtime, he'd bring in $2,500 a week, so forth. So I told him he just didn't, put up with nobody antagonizing him. And I explained that to David. I said, and so right after that, I noticed I'm in the Smith County drugstore. I believe this was the order, but I know I'm in the Smith County drugstore, and the woman, my wife, she said, Aaron, can you come here and help me? They're giving me a hard time in here or something, this woman. And so I go in there, and she said, well, I'm trying to explain to her, with her disease, see, my wife's got bipolar, yeah, with her disease, trying to get me to hop over at goddamn counter and do something to you. But anyway, I ain't writing. So that's these nutty-ass white people down here. They think that the police can protect themselves. Protect them when they can't even protect themselves. I wanted to fucking do something. I mean, let's face it. You go to fucking with somebody's family, and I'm not that type of person, but I know how to sniper people and everything. I might be a felon for fucking reasons I shouldn't even be. Got shot at by a cop. All right, I won't even say whether I should or not. I'm not a judge, but if this was put in U.S. Supreme Court, really, how it would be the outcome? If it was heard fairly and justly, especially all this shit the police have done to us. But, I know how to sniper people. I could set up fucking bombs. I'm a genius in a way. I could set up bombs and have, somebody come to a place and in there and blow up fucking 25 people. So, it ain't, I've won in every way. I filed this federal civil lawsuit that was dismissed without prejudice. The judge, they said I never served the summons in accordance with Federal Rule 4, but, so let's get into other stuff. Yeah, she said with her disease and all that. So, that's actually my family down there, Hackett's drugstore in Smith County. He should have fired her, he didn't. So whatever. But, we answer to God for things we do, and you do wrong, so hey, it'll be on him. I trust God. That's why I don't fall. I don't get upset. My mother raised me well. She raised me to know how society and human nature. I know what people. I know what to expect out of people. So I don't let people get to me. I go to people's supervisors and corporate offices, and I was raised well. She taught me well. And anyway, she had more backbone than any guy I see out here now. I say that women's got more heart than a lot of guys nowadays. So, anyways, most guys, not a lot. And anyways, men are not what they used to be. So I said, let me see here. Smith County Drugstore, DHS. So I go in or Save a Lot first. I go in Save a Lot, and I bring my buggy up, like push it up there, like bring it in. I'm unloading myself, and the woman turns around because she's on the register next to me, and the aisle. She turns around and kicks the front of the buggy, like just trying to get a reaction out of me in there. It would have been on fucking camera and everything. Turn around and kick the buggy, trying to get a ruse out of me, like say it's antagonization. Then go to DHS or DHS. I'm sorry, Department of Humane Services, over our food stamps, and walk in. I see this guy sitting there, and there's somebody at the window, but there's a big gap in between us. I still just stood back towards the door because I seen him, and I thought, well, I ain't no big hurry. So like, sometimes you just know things in your stomach. It might have been God keeping me and my wife safe. So what happened was, step in. Well, I just standing there, and he says, "I'm next." I didn't even say nothing. I thought, well, fuck, I already knew what was going on. See, I'm street smart. I already knew he was placed. He said, brother, I said, I'm next. I didn't say. I looked at him, walked out the motherfucking door, and he looked like a Marine, tattoos on him and everything. But ain't no telling what they told this son of a bitch. And anyways, but he didn't scare me. But like I said, I don't have nothing to prove. My father, I got extremely tough blood. I don't have nothing to prove. Like I told that dude today, I don't get out here and fight, and I don't go to a bar and try to prove a fucking, whatever. That's dead, so I ain't going in that. But let's see. So yeah, my wife got choked one day when she called for the police. My wife and I was having a little bit of argument, a little bit of drinking going on. They came in, and the woman, Carrie Pyatt, grabbed my wife and by her throat and started choking her. Well, I say she got her by the throat. I don't remember, and I'm upset. I'm trying to do this quick. I know she got her down on like one of them spring mattresses couch it pulls out, and had her knee on her neck and everything. That other cop, Eddie Dallas, was in there doing things on her, standing on top of her and everything, and she's screaming, we're like, "Help, Aaron," or something. They're choking me or something. Get off me! I can't breathe or something. And she just heard her saying something, and Carrie tried to put her finger and told me to go out on the porch. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I said, I'm recording. I guess they thought that I was fucking desperate, and I'd let them go ahead and just kill my wife right there, take that goddamn opportunity, them to seize that opportunity to hurt my wife. No, during the recording, they got up off her when they knew I was recording. So anyways, took her to jail, said she had kicked her in the face. That was all thrown out in court, so there you go. I said thrown out in court. Put in for an expungement, maybe that's why, maybe it wouldn't be on her thing. There's a man named Tyler Leach. He was someone they used to use to terrorize me and my wife, and just different things, and especially me when I was homeless, when my wife and I had that no contact thing for like 6 months, and I was staying down underneath the bridge and everything in a tent through real cold weather and everything, but he was on ice, and they just used him, but they'd used him prior to that too. But I witnessed him, tattoos on her face, younger guy. I witnessed him hitting on like 14-year-old children, and he was arrested for masturbating on Main Street down here. So anyways, like I said, that just pulled a knife on somebody in the trailer park. That's, they'll use anybody like that. Like I said, keep them pumped full of dope and stuff too. I guess they think that'll make them come near doing something to me. They control their mind. That's just like human trafficking. You control somebody's mind, you can control them psychologically. Shows also how much our government cares. Children are put into sex trafficking every day, and you never hear the government. Very seldom. I seen one case a day, and it blew my mind. I can't believe they actually done something about it. But you just don't hear. You hear very little talk of them doing anything about it. And it's a show to catch a predator. Hell, they catch more predators, it seems, than the government. Maybe they're in on that shit. I'm not gonna say that because I'm careful. I don't want to sound like a loose basket. That's a big accusation. I know, to say they're in on it, but I wouldn't put nothing past them. I used to read James Patterson books, and I think the FBI are the good guys, the top cops. I said they couldn't do no wrong. They'd be held accountable by the other officers. How wrong I was. I know now. So anyways, hell, that thing was on CNN. The whistleblowers was on CNN, and they was threatening their own agents. They saying if you try to expose us, the FBI will crush you. The government will crush you. So there you go. The FBI doing a lot of it. Memphis, all the stuff, I'd call them sometimes too, the Memphis, because they're the headquarters, main headquarters, and they would try to keep me on the phone. I'd call them when threatening things happen to us, different things. I was recording it. I'm like, I'm just building up evidence on yourself. I don't need the DA office and whatever. I'll record you and make note of this, put it all over the internet and everything else. Like I said, a lot of my evidence came up missing. I guess it has. My aunt could still have it, but so what happened was they would try to keep me on the phone long enough to see if I would threaten them. I literally jotted this down. It didn't take no time. I stood here writing this. It probably took 30 minutes to jot this down. And like just like the thing, I recorded them, me serving this summons. It's on an old Apple iPhone. I don't know if my aunt still got it, but that iPhone, I recorded myself serving them that summons. My wife and me was arguing one day, and she broke my phone. She broke it and it had that video in there. But hey, everything happens for a reason. Maybe, I don't know. Trust God. Hey, like I said, I can verbally, I know what's happening. Anybody listening to this know, why would I make this up? I don't, you don't get yourself into it with police deliberately. I respect good cops, like I said, in other places, more than I do the government. There's some of them, they get gunned down and everything else, and they are heroes in my book. They're peace officers. These cops have heard me talk about that. I used to say if I had my invention idea, where I said I felt bad when I went to prison. I shot at that cop. I said, had I got out and being given a chance, I said I'd been like y'all's greatest ally. I said I would have built I would have went and bought a case of the movie The Courageous, the Christian movie, and handed them out to y'all. I would have built a donut place and gave y'all like 15% off to give back. But no, they didn't want that. Like I said, they know what I am. They're fucking anti-police. I'm telling you, big time in this town. So anyways, they're not above that. They're fucking involved in selling drugs. If anybody came sit down to me firsthand and talk, I'm not going to convey everything over this, but I could explain shit, whatever. That's somebody, but I don't, it's just like, why didn't I get a private investigator involved? I could have. My mother passed $22,500 in the bank. I could have went down in the fucking projects and came out with a machine gun. You can get a machine gun. I'd seen on TV, somebody bought a machine gun for $1,000. I was watching a crime show or something. You can get an AR-15 for $1,000, I love my wife, and I'm trying to keep her safe, take care of her. And I don't want to be in heaven or hell. Let no motherfucker take me to prison. Done with that shit. I ain't done nothing wrong. By God, I said what I said, and I meant what I said. That one Mexican, he said, under my plan, people will be able to shoot the FBI, ATF, all the federal agents on site. And he said, Caps, let freedom ring. Louis McGill, Florida state representative. Louis McGill. You can look that up. He was banned from Twitter for that. Not a thing was done with him. The government knows they're corrupt. They know what they're doing. Donald Trump, while he was in there, it was nothing but fires, carnage, riots, chaos. So anyways, that's that. So a lot of it's probably stemmed from here. It's contagious, attitudes, positivity is contagious, so forth. And I've called from here to Washington trying to get the FBI to help me and everything, and they, I guess they hear it from these, and they all stick together, So whatever, it's corruption from Tennessee. You can look it up. It's known for police and for profit and everything else. It has spilled over. Atlanta, Georgia's corrupt. I know Florida's corrupt. I've been knowing that because I've considered moving. I've considered moving out of this country, me, my wife, and our dog. And anyways, so let's see. Got Eddie Dice. I got accused of kicking her in the face. Yada yada. Explain Tyler Leach. Excuse me. Yeah, they've used these people, like I said, there's nothing more than terrorize, harass my wife and me. They prance around. Yeah, they're not tough. And back in the 90s, just like these "Don't Tread on Me" flags and all that, people would not do that. Back in days in Tennessee here, I know in the South, white boys would get in a truck and ride around and look for fights. They go to another county to try somebody. So that "Don't Tread on Me," that's your way of saying you're either stupid and you need your ass whooped, or you think you're a badass. Either way, you're getting served up. So my dad was always quiet, didn't start trouble. I'm the same way. I don't, I listen to heavy metal, some this and that, but I don't run around here starting trouble. I ain't stupid. That could get my wife hurt. The police would love just a confrontation to put it on file. Did one day here a while back when I was drinking, it's because I'd help somebody move in over here. I'd help somebody move in. My sister and my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, they're not married no more, came over here. He's a black man. Came over here, and they was visiting, and they was needing a ride back. She said, "Can you give me a ride?" I said, "I might be able to." I said, "I helped I was drinking pretty heavily. I remember I was even blacking in and out. So the police even know. They said, "Well, I think you had asked them about a ride." But the black guy, he said, why don't you just go home, man, like that? Okay, well, and I called him a house nigger. I know it's not a smart thing to say sometimes, but that's what I said. And that ain't no whatever. I've been friends with Aryan Nation with swastikas on their cover photos, and everything else, and they don't get attacked just for that. So, I know you gotta be careful inside it. But we live in a small town. The KKK used to march through here, so it is not like that, anyways. But, anyways, I'm normally careful about what I say. I'll admit I said that. Wasn't a smart thing to say in a way. I should just stay away from her. Not being prejudiced, but having somebody like that over there, he wasn't too much to him anyway. Let's see what I'm putting here. Yeah, my invention ideal got stolen. I was mailing it to the USPTO, and I had my $65 money order with it. I mailed it in, and I didn't put a tracker on the letter, and I didn't have enough. I remember I was poor, barely scraped that together, and I probably had to bum some change from people and everything else to get it mailed. And I mailed it. I had a feeling it would not make it. Sure enough, it didn't. All they had to do was put it in eventhelp.com or something. Well, Randy Glover, I found out things come together. God brings things light. I found out that he manages the money for this jail down here. And a while back, I'd found that out. And he built the new jail. I heard he manages the money, and he spent like $13 million on the new jail. And different location, but still it's bigger. So I heard all this time I'm not spending time with my wife, but I'm getting through it. I'm at least over halfway done now. More than that, I think. So what happened was, it's getting good and meaty now. Start listening. So what happened was, I found out he managed the money for, the new jail and everything. So, and then my ideal not making it, and these police trying to murder us. I just think, damn, are they just crazy? What are they doing this for? Why? Is it because of some kind of ego they got? I didn't understand. One day I'm on Facebook, and I see this home. It said River Point Ranch. Well, lo and behold, it was Randy Glover's, and it looks like it belongs in Brentwood, Tennessee. It's massive. And anyways, I said to myself, boom, I knew immediately when I seen it. It started coming to me. I mean, honestly, I'm upset, stressed out, obviously, everything me and my wife's been through, what happened day before yesterday with her, our door being kicked today, everything else. But what happened was, and we did call police about that today, and they said they're trespassing, but I called back later reporting more stuff about him saying about his boy and all that, and I said that don't even make sense, and I thought it was the one guy, like I said, knocking or beating on our door. I thought he had a gun or something, but then he said, well, let's keep the peace. They always try to demonize me. So anyways, and tell me not if I told him I had pepper spray. He said, if you're out walking, just don't attack nobody, nothing. I said, man, let me be clear about something. I said, you ain't nobody. I didn't say him, because I tried to get along with him. I said, even though he used to be more fair, you get corrupt, you work for Carthage, it seems. So he was a little better when he first got on. But he had arrested Tyler Leach at the laundromat, said he went there and he had dope sitting right on his chest or something. He told me he found ice on him back at that time, so he told me he knew what he was. There's another altercation, me and him in the laundry room at that time, where the laundromat, where I was homeless. Jumping around a lot, but I know it makes sense. And I had told that officer, because he punched a laundry thing in there and was threatening me and everything. And I called them, just go, I ain't putting up with you, dude. I'm out on bond right now. I was out on bond when it was, and I didn't want to get in trouble. Put my hands on him, they're going, I'll be in trouble. And he was out of his mind on dope. So what happened was, I called him, and I said, only if you're going to arrest him. If not, I said, the footage shows him attacking the laundromat, the machine. I said, only if not, don't even come out here, because you're just going to get him more stirred up. They came out there, whatever, and didn't do shit about it. So there you go. Like I said, just like that cop pulling over in front of our apartment over. And, so what happened, let me see, I went on to talking. Let me see, I've got notes here, so. Yeah, my invention ideal, I mailed it. And then let's see, Randy, just like them trying to kill us and everything, and it all makes sense, They paint these ladies, I call them phony informants. I see them buying vehicles. Our neighbor living right next to us right now, she didn't have nothing. She told me based on her own mission, she would have to ask for a pack of cigarettes from her two sons. Said they was getting tired of helping her, and she drives a model car the same year model as ours now, 2015. We have a Buick. It's a Buick, forget the Verano, and that's because my wife got her Social Security started back, got back pay. She purchased that, a lump sum, but ours is pretty nice shape. Hers is nice shape. It had a little cosmetic damage, missing a spot of the body in the front and everything, missing, it's torn off or something, but nevertheless, So back on what's going on. I see motorcycles being bought for them, and certain things I won't go into because I could go into the things I'm seeing purchased and all, but I'm not going into that right now. I don't mention that about Paco and everything else. I'm not going into all that right now. So maybe later. But so what? Let me see. Let me look at what I got going here. Get away. I said I try to get along with these police. These cops are against police. I was talking about that earlier. Let me see. They deal dope. Yeah, my mother was on Carmack. I said trying to instigate me. My stepfather, he was dying. He had liver cancer, and they came out there and stated, he has to go to another. My mother's trying to talk, and he was sick on auction, fluid retention in his legs. They had done parentheses on him, pull the fluid off him, and everything. And they wouldn't even let her talk, trying to get her, because I was on probation at the time. Just like another time, I had to call 911 on my wife over in South Carthage, due to all the stress and because of her panic attack and stuff. And they came in, me on probation, the EMS talking like they was drill sergeants to her, and that cop, Tracy Holder, standing right there. She was saying her husband drowned the black guy in the river, and didn't report it till like 21 hours later. And they ended up locking him up. Now I hear he's back out. I don't know. So anyways, they love to do manslaughter charges and let you off and just make things disappear and everything else around here. I've been thinking, I say manslaughter because I think that's what they love to do to me. Make somebody feel like if I get in a fight out here and have somebody shoot me and say, oh, we didn't know, we panicked, we thought he was dangerous. I said he's dangerous and everything, we didn't know and all this. Yeah, okay, whatever. So, so let's see, I was mentioning, so my stepfather was sick. He requested to go to Cookeville Hospital instead of Carthage. And what they done, they said, the EMS, he said, well, if you go to Cookeville, they can get you for doctor shopping. He was on auction. He went out there and died. But anyways, just like them calling me about my mom, her, so they have been, the police are getting involved, the mobile crisis, all that. They would make me a promise. My wife, I was present. She'd said nothing about being homicidal, suicidal, or nothing. And it'd be something like, they would say, I'm listening because I don't know if somebody's standing outside the window. These people, it's crazy. Nobody can imagine what me and my wife go through. But, I'm told, it's like the police, they told me, well, don't attack them. I mean, they're trying to talk me down, and in their mind, they think that people's got immunity on me. They can just walk up and fucking silence me and annihilate me because they want me dead because this fucking invention ideal. That's it. So they want my guard to be down. They think I'm supposed to be afraid and everything else. No, fuck that. I told them, I said, I don't care about what you, I said, Britt. I told Britt, that's the chief police over here. I said, or Judge Beller, or Lawson, that's the DA, none of them. I said, they don't write the law. I said, I'm allowed to protect myself by God, self-defense. I said, as a matter of fact, more than anybody. I said, especially when the police are putting people up for shit. Told that bitch that on the phone, and I meant what I said. Anyways, I told him that. I said what I said, and I meant what I said, by God. But I ain't stupid. I said, as long as I don't chase nobody or run up to them and attack them. I said, middle of the street, though, somebody come up to me, I said, even so, I got a chance to, if they're threatening me and cursing me and everything, I can call them over to me, by God. If they want to step up, that's just an invitation. As long as I ain't being loud, then you could arrest me for disorderly if it happens in y'all. So I know the law. They're fucking crazy and they're desperate and corrupt on a level. This shit, they need to send a fucking National Guard in on these fucking police here. My wife is coughing. But my stepfather ended up going there and dying. So then, another time, let's see, what I got here. I got, for instance, I called 911 for my wife one time. I was already recording because that's when South Carthage, the way Tracy Jackson was doing, pulling up the other, and just all that stuff, the way they was doing us over there. Things I explained earlier, and I'm upset trying to get done with this. We could be in danger now. Maybe I need to get done with this kind of quick. But, so what happened was, I was already recording, and they said, talk to her just a minute, and they said, well, so you want to go to the hospital? She said, yeah. And they said, oh, well, why we was here earlier? Well, yeah, no wonder y'all terrorizing. We're victims of domestic terrorism. So, we don't owe you no fucking explanation. She didn't have insurance that time. Wouldn't matter if she did or she didn't. Regardless, she's got a medical need. She's a human being. She's an American bitch. Get her to the fucking doctor. Get her up here to the fucking ER. Y'all keep trying to terrorize us all, y'all. And anyway, so he said, well, we're not a taxi. And I was already recording. By God, that's when I laid into him. I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm recording this call, and I put the phone out. I said, I was already recording because I was waiting on y'all to say something. And I said, y'all want to come out here? I said, y'all come up here and try to get, I forget exactly what I said, but I ended up sending it to the person in Nashville. He was the director over that, and nothing came of it. Or, you know, he might have had a talk, whatever. But, you know, like I said, that's Tennessee for you. Don't fall far from the tree around here. But so what happened was, I called the one. He used to be a cop, and he went to EMS. His name is Graves. I told him, I said, ain't nobody scared of you, Graves. I said, you ain't no tough guy. I said, well, why don't you? I said, well, take that badge off. Or I said, take that uniform. I said, why don't you come up here and see me when you're out of uniform? But anyway, so I had enough of him. Called him out, as anybody would have. And anyways, so I want other people to handle it as good as I fucking did. I try to be peaceful, passive, and everything else. So. I got Mama Carmack, taxi. I was already according to explain. Okay, so the guy kicked my wife in the stomach over there. She now has a hernia mesh in her stomach. They was trying to get me shot over there. That's for her home burnt down. And it was extremely bad over there. Plus, there was a thing up in our ceiling where, like, somebody could just come through. I watched this Forensic File episode where this guy was on parole or something, house arrest, something like that, and he said he just meant he was just bored, so he got up there, you know, see what was in the next apartment, see where it led. And he went into the next apartment beside him. He said, and he thought, well, I might see if they got something of value in here. We ended up, he goes in there, startles a woman. There's a woman in there, and it ends up turning into him murdering her. So, yeah, I didn't like that thing being in there, and I just think they plotted on us with that. Maybe having somebody come through there if I'm not in there and hurt my wife. Anyway, so had that hell and nightmare go on for a while. Made notes of it, put on my Facebook, and of course tried to trust God and everything else too. Contacting the DOJ, which is run by the FBI. They're a joke anyways, but everything else. Maybe there is some justice, though. You see Donald Trump found guilty. I don't know. I'm sending this to some people. But so what ended up happening was this guy, they, you know, revving up his motorcycle and all this stuff, just kept on and on, revving motorcycle, all this stuff. And well, one day I got upset and I said something to him, and you know, I wasn't smart because they had this other guy, and you know, I knew he had a gun, and he was often over there. Had this sticker on his truck that said "I love cops." They was gonna have that guy shoot me. I have no doubt in my mind. They wanted me to get on this guy out here, this Elvis guy, and having him, knowing my wife's got PTSD, having him rev up the motor and all that shit outside of our apartment nonstop. And anyways, that's not just minding your own business. Nobody else lived with it, and they would not have made it through anything we did. By the grace of God and us, you know, being intelligent to know, to have integrity and see something's off there and everything else. We the one lived it, so no, it ain't just mind your own business, no. Anyways, that's just like politics are corrupt. You know, people like that. They like to cling to that. It's just drama. It's evil. A lot of people going to hell. America's not what it used to be. So anyways, let me see. I said, yeah, I had a gun, want to shoot me, but he ended up, you know, my wife was upset. We just snapped. She ran at him a little bit, and he kicked her in her stomach, and, you know, anyway, we was arrested. It was dismissed in court because he even fucking felt bad. The apartment burnt down right after that. Makes you wonder why, don't it? All them apartments burnt down. She was smoking on oxygen, that lady, and so God got us out of there is what happened with that. And he felt bad, and evidently, so he dropped the charges, and you know, so anyways, he didn't even just in court. He didn't want to do nothing with it. Showed up 2-3 times, told him to drop it. He just didn't want to do nothing with it. And that fire, maybe he just felt bad. So I said, they got, hold on, they're going to shoot me. I said, hold on, they get to, I'm trying to read my own writing, and it's yeah, I said they go in, get right out. I've seen these so-called informants. That shit happen. Explaining her Madison Knoxville. Yeah, she was put on. I tried to just get her put on something called Vraylar. She was put on it for a week. She ran out because it was just samples. Oh yeah, when I was talking about she would go in the hospital, like mobile crisis would lie. They would say, I said I was there when she was assessed. She said nothing about being homicidal, suicidal, nothing. And they would send her. And I'd say, look, we don't want her in the state hospital. No, she's scared of that and want her to get better, right? She's like a happy, bubbly little person, wears her heart on her sleeve, and, you know, goes to church, friends with everybody on Facebook, and just, you know, calls people her brothers and her sisters and all that. So, loves Christian stuff. Excuse me. And said, "Oh no, yeah, it's not like that." They said, "We'll get her in a good place." They understood, So we won't send her there. Can you get her to the ER, to the hospital up here? Because that's where she have to be cleared. Got her up there. They put her straight in from Moxon Bend. And so, like I said, they even end up, after she was up there like 5 days with no medicine. I called them. They knew her mom got on guard too. And when they seen all this, they're like, I was talking to clinicians and everything, and they said they finally admitted they made a mistake. I said, she's been up there about 5 days, no medicine, anything else. They said, we understand. They said, look, can we just put her in for another hospital right now, or what we do, a good one? They didn't know, so they knew they'd messed up, and they didn't think they didn't understand my intelligence, and I'm gonna go to war over her. And anyways, I've had to contact wrongful death attorneys when she's in the hospital, because they would have people. I mean, literally, well, this Knoxville hospital I'm getting ready to go into. Trying to keep it short. Like I said, it's already 7 minutes, 70. I need to get kind of done with this. Let me tell her it's okay. Bridget, it's okay. I love you. Hey. It's okay, my dog. Hey, I'm almost done with this recorder. Love you. So what happened was, she was out of Vraylar because the samples ran out. She goes in just because she was out of her Vraylar. And, like a med adjustment, they put her in this hospital that is the worst hospital I've ever seen in my life, or one of them. You got state hospitals, you got MTMHI. I know because I've been in them before I got my Social Security turned on. You got Moxon Bend, different ones, but this one was Knoxville Mental Health, was it behavior, mental health, something like that, but trying to forget about it all. Everything else life throws at us, but they put her on knowing she was born with a cleft palate. I think because they want to make her aggressive, where they could restrain her and make it look like an accident, if you ask me. They put her on Effexor and Lamictal. Effexor has got wrongful death, suits. I mean, it's been, people have died from it. But see, it turns out it was God, what Satan meant for harm, God used for good. Her dad took it. She's doing good with the Effexor. Her dad took it. That actually worked. It's like, God said, no weapon formed and prosper. I'm a perfect Christian. I know the word, though. But then, but she did have some hallucinations off front. She was seeing tracers and everything when she came back home. And I'm going to explain to that what it was like trying to get her home. I had to contact wrongful death attorneys and everything. They was deliberately being mean to me on the phone, wouldn't let me talk to her. That phone got broke. I used to have to record them and everything. But anyways, might have been one left in the fire and got burnt down. But we lost a lot of stuff in that fire. But excuse me. So then what happened was the Lamictal, this tremors and shaking, these was very serious side effects on both these medicine. You take somebody little as her, she's 5 foot something, little bitty. Why would you put, and bubbly like happy? Why would you put her on that kind of medicine? And I believe they wanted to make her snap out in there where they could, anyways. So they was being very cruel. I remember once I was upset and I was talking, said something, and she told me, she said that, because she just told me, not trying to, but she said that nurse told me that you keep calling. You called like 20 times, trying to get her upset, and they just, that's how they was. But anyway, they put her on Effexor and Lamictal, and her cleft palate, they had to take bone out of her hip and reconstruct it, and I think maybe that's when they false arrest her. They was hoping to put her in that restraint chair and try to smother her. I just seen this Down syndrome kid or something on CNN. He died in the chair like that. And her blood pressure problem. They know this too. These cops do. Here in Carthage, they know it too. They stalk us. It's like the thing with Paco. And being out there when we got our food stamps. It's like she's been in this ER panic attacks multiple times. So anyways, I couldn't make this up. It's a very unpleasant topic. But let's see. Yeah, I put mistreated in past mobile crisis. False arrest, I covered that. Well, she's false arrest because somebody kicked our door after we moved over here. And somebody kicked our door or hit it. Something, I don't know if it kicked. It was just more like a thud a couple of times, but it hit it. Their hand, like they hit it. I remember hoping it was a washing machine because we had laundry washing, but it was loud enough it penetrated through this apartment. It was the back door that was hit. So what happened was I had to dry laundry. I ended up going to the laundromat, and I told her, I said, just stay in. I got my running shoes on. When I get back, somebody hits it. I said, I'll run out there. Wasn't the best me doing. I should just stayed, but we needed towels. We had nothing. So I go, somebody else hit it. She called me. She said, somebody just hit it again. I'm calling the police. She called them. They came out here, and they even said it looked like what was dents on the door. And said, looked like children handprints or something. The one cop, he told her dents. He said, looks like maybe some dents right there. And it could have been Sergeant Teasley. That body cam footage is available, I know for a fact, because it's been brought up that it was reviewed when I went down there. He said, well, I've seen the footage, and he said it looks like they thought there were some dents or something. Yeah, so we call a couple of days later to get the footage, and get a report wrote up, and called to get a report wrote up, and the cop, one of them came out here, and he said, you say there's dents in this door? And I made sure he understood right from the get-go, beating on the door loud too, had the howls in here, and he was acting vicious. My wife's been bitten her ear by a brown recluse here since we've been here too. Got that all documented and everything. But, got roaches. The woman next to us has got more roaches than anybody could imagine, cockroaches. We didn't have one in this apartment when we first moved over here. They could be bringing a little bit, handfuls, and putting them out in here just to torment us. Came in here one day, and the dog went to hiding. He looked at us, and he kind of like dropped in his shoulders. Somebody had been in here, and nobody else had a key. His side, he's got something itching him real bad, and he's a beautiful, unique Chihuahua. He's bow-legged. He's not like straight-legged Chihuahuas. And I think with them taking our children in their nutty mind, their small little brains, because it may be delusional. They're thinking, hell, why ain't somebody else done something, with these police? Everything that's happened took place. Let's go to McDonald's to order something. You tell them you want to. And in the past this was, and I don't have this evidence now, this is back in the past, this is years back, asked for a McChicken and a Mountain Dew. What do you say, you want a Dr. Pepper? And say it like that too, just messing with us, trying to, so anyway, it ain't cute, it's stupidity. Just means they didn't have, their mama didn't raise them right. That ain't American, or that ain't nothing. We're just trying to order food. We got a life. Once you get a life, yeah, exactly, that type of stuff. But anyways, so, let me see here. I got, the false arrest. So he just keeps on talking about and trying to incite her. I said, you ain't gotta be scared when we first. I said, we got a right to report this. I can tell they trying to get her worked up. They know she got PTSD, and I've got that video, and it's on YouTube. In fact, on this channel, I'm putting this on. So what happened was he keeps pushing this thing about Denson. I said, we're just going off what the officer said. I said, it was dark time. I said, he could have thought he seen them. I said, we're just going off what he said. Now they just came hot blood wanting to put her in jail. And I think maybe they just wanting to put her in that chair. Anybody can read between the lines and formulate their own ideal thoughts on this. But so what happened was there towards the end, he looked and he said, there ain't no dents. He said, call this in as a false report. And we told him from the get-go, we just wanted a copy of the report. I said, man, it's not about that. I said, that is nothing. I said, we ain't making up no, because I knew when he said call, I knew he was planning on he's going to go and get a warrant on her and everything. That's how ridiculous that was. And sure enough, they come to arrest her. But where I had recorded that, what I recorded got it thrown out. The judge he said, there's no probable cause. And he said, there's no probable cause. The DA, Samantha, she's a key even. She got our same last name. She acted like she's on the cop side 100% and everything else, trying to cover her ass, because she evidently knows they're dangerous down here. But, so she's like, well, I did. She said, that's your views, Judge. That's your decision. She said, I respect it, but she was acting like she didn't agree. She acted like we was in the fucking wrong and had evidence plain as day that, so she should be actually fired. She's not worth anything. So that officer got up there and committed perjury in court and everything else. But I think back to, like I said, that, he committed, that's a felony to commit perjury in court. But I think the thing about our dog, him itching, I think they wanted to make him look neglected. His side's itching. We don't know what it is. If it's an allergy to grass, I don't know. Looks like he's got mange. They could have took a wash rag and rubbed it on a dog with mange. They say it's irritating. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not a drama king. I got life to think why some, fucking Tennessee cop done this shit. But anyways, everybody's always made over him. When I take him in stores, I got the emotional support stuff on him so he can go in stores. And back when I used to go to Nashville more often, everybody's like, Now I don't even let people touch him. He's been so traumatized, afraid if he bites somebody, they try to take him away from us. But so, anyways, that's a mouthful, I know, but it was thrown out in court. Judge, he said, I can't. I got thrown out here. He said, I can't do no. He said, there's no probable cause, and he had his head in his hands literally from it. But I think that says a lot. That's what we got on that, and so that's exposed a lot. Yep. Thank you for your time, Aaron Key. July 5th. I believe it's July 5th. It's July 6th. I was wrong the whole time on that. July 6th, 11:06 p.m. Thank you.